Good morning. Welcome to prayer part 5, perhaps. I'm not sure. But a final time with this be still and know that I am God. We can talk to our souls. The psalmist talks to their souls. We can sort of speak peace. We can tell our souls to be quiet, to calm, to rest. I was looking for another verse, but Psalm 131 verse 2 has that feel to it, but not very good in the CEV. So we'll just stay with be still and know that I am God. I want to talk a little bit more about barriers to stillness. And all of us have barriers for all sorts of reasons. But the last sort of category is our history. And I think this is particularly about trauma in the widest sense that we've experienced, which holds us back from opening up to God. Once we have been hurt and traumatized, we defend ourselves, we defend our souls perhaps, and we're reluctant to open up to others in a deep way, in all sorts of ways. I want to tell you a story about someone I met on a retreat, and he was an army officer who'd seen a number of tours of duty in places of conflict. So I imagine, I don't know, but I imagine that he had experienced real trauma. And he was a wonderful person, a great organizer. But afterwards he came up to me and said, in that time of stillness you led, that was the first time I've really been able to do that. And it's been difficult because I've been to other things and found them really, really difficult. And I empathise with him. I've had the same thing going on. I was thinking, why was that? I think that particular retreat was in an amazing location, and it had a sort of party atmosphere because of the way it was organised, and brilliant organisation, which I thought was actually very helpful. We can get a bit serious about and precious about our retreats and things. But maybe I contributed something in the way I sort of led that time. So there is a lot to overcome. And you might be thinking, well, I've not had, trauma like sort of battlefield trauma, but it's all relative, and whatever has been traumatic for you has been traumatic for you. And you will carry that with you, and you'll need to negotiate that as you come into stillness, because in the stillness, we're open to the power of that trauma when we want to keep it at bay. And that's one of the reasons why we like sound and vision and stuff around us, why we become addicted to noise, because it keeps the darker stuff at bay. But actually, the only way to tame the darker stuff is to face it little by little as we're able, and with help. And that's why being silent together can be really significant, because we have the support of those other people, and perhaps those other people help us not to run away having screaming abdabs, as I've sort of felt the need to at times. running away and climbing trees is my usual sort of safe place, but I'm sure we all have different ones. So yeah, or talking things through, or as they come up, having someone we can really open up to and talk things through with, perhaps a spiritual accompanier or a friend or whoever. Because it all comes down to accepting ourselves as we are. I wonder if you had a go with the acceptance prayer exercise. And if you didn't, I would urge you to go back and have a go, because that's again difficult stuff, and we feel we shouldn't accept ourselves. We ought to be bullying ourselves to be better, and that involves not accepting who we are. But the way of Jesus feels deeply to be accepting ourselves and then finding change, not accepting ourselves and bullying ourselves into something different. We've got it all wrong. We need to accept ourselves and then accept that God will lovingly, in his time and in his way, nudge us and urge us forward. He loves us too much to leave us as we are, and just trusting that love. So accept yourself. Have another go with that prayer exercise. You may need to do it a few times just to accept. Breathing in, breathing out. Accept. We need to accept ourselves before we will find real change. I do think that. Real change comes through accepting ourselves and being changed. And in that prayer exercise, I sort of, without really thinking, led you into breath prayer, which is a powerful way of praying. And I've been doing it for many years, but just finding words, and I think, experimenting with words and finding what fits for you. You might like to take the words "be still." That's a wonderful breath prayer. Be, breathe in, be still, breathe out. Wonderful breath prayer. And you're speaking to your soul. Just be still. Just speaking to the whole of your body and your mind. Be still. Leads you into that place of stillness where, stuff will come up, difficult stuff, dark stuff, and you will need to find ways of dealing with that. So I think I'll do a little prayer exercise on the words "be still." You can use the whole lot. I've heard "be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. That's another little prayer exercise that you could use. Just takes you to that just being with God, that place of self-acceptance, just being there, open with God. Next time we'll move on to more of the process of prayer, and where prayer can lead us if we sort of follow stepping stones. Thank you.